A very good evening to you all. It is 6 o'clock, which means, of course, it's the launch of a brand new one-day special and the launch of our new arrivals as well. Now, we do have new arrivals when it comes to product in this next show, but of course, we're going to be introducing you to lots of new suppliers over the weekend too. But when it comes to the one-day special, the man himself is here in the studio. Yes, he's here. We're so excited about this. It's Phill Martin.
Hello, my
darling.
How are you? I'm good.
Oh, I know. It's
Hi, everyone.
Oh, how are you
Happy New
doing?
Year. It's the first time I've seen everybody.
I know. It seems ages since we've seen you, but Phill, I've got to say, once again, one-day special, absolutely stunning. And I mean that. The colour palette that we've got in the papers here, and of course, we've got so many stamps for you as well. These are also why not deal, aren't they? Why not for many reasons, but why not? Because look at the saving as a Freedom member straight away. A £14.49 saving. Phill, there's 70 stamps here. Tell us about this collection.
OK, so where do I start? So Rococo, this is kind of my thing, as you know. So pretty, slightly shabby chic, lots of flowers is kind of my thing. But in all the years that I've designed stamps, I've never actually done one specifically like this. So, you know I love my flowers, you know I love this style. The papers are absolutely gorgeous in their own right. This is the first time I've included them as part of a one-day special. Normally, as you know, I bring you 2 paper packs and I put them as an extra.
Yes, you do.
But they're just too pretty. So I've included them as part of the one-day special. And as soon as Catherine starts to show you the samples, you'll see just how gorgeous they are when they start working together. The stamps, so sentiments are kind of... Do you know what? We say that sentiments are what I'm known for, but I've actually done so much more.
Oh, you really have.
So much more, so much more. But sentiments is where I started. But I have never done any with... This is a brand new font. This is the most classy, stylish, elegant, pretty font. And it's just going to work for absolutely everything, Catherine. If anybody remembers my stately collection that I did a couple of years ago, that was one of my biggest sellers in the way of sentiments because it's swirly and flourishy. Yeah. This one is more so. So rather than bring you a massive, massive bundle, I've tried to condense it into what I think is essential. I'm catching my breath, can you tell?
You are, you are. I think you're, well, we're all very excited about this.
So what I wanted was to be able to take the sentiment idea, but then embellish it and make it even prettier, make it into a frame, make it into corners, make it into flourishes. And that's exactly what you can do with the Rococo Splendour collection.
You certainly
You've got
can.
the flourishes, you've got the corners. I'll let you say something nice so I can get the draw. I love them. I absolutely love them.
Well, you can see, first of all, I'm showing you the stamp sets. These are the 2 sentiments. We've just seen one. We'll have another look at some of the sentiments on there, actually. But you're so right, Phill. I mean, the beautiful flourishes that you see in the script there, but readable. And to me, that is very, very important.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We've got some gorgeous, gorgeous sentiments in here as well. Just a note, you can see there. Look how scripted these are, so beautiful. There's movement in those flourishes,
There is movement
aren't
in them with the swirls and everything. But for me, as you know, I love my embossing powders. So, and most people that know me now know that I test all my stamps with different brands of ink, different embossing powders, and these are absolutely gorgeous. So if you look at here as we go down I've called that the corner set, but in actual fact that's a bit of a fib because you've got corners in there, you've actually got elements to make your own frames. So if you go back to the top where you see that it's almost a frame there, look where we can see that in the corner.
Yes, yeah.
I've actually separated that because who wants me to dictate what size of frame you've got? So with all those different elements, you can take just a... You know when we do our matting and layering and we have all those little offcuts and everything, you can now take those, use those frame elements and you can create the most gorgeous little toppers with them. Look how many stamps there are.
I know. It's amazing. There are 70 individual stamps. I'm looking down at the samples here as well, Phill. We'll show some in a little while. But you can see how beautifully the detail picks up from these stamps yet again with the embossing powders. But of course, when it comes to the one-day special, it's not just those stamps. We've seen those 4 sets, but we have got, of course, those beautiful papers. I'm going to show you some of these now. They are stunning. Everything I adore here, Phill. I said that to you before the show. You know this is where my heart falls as well. This is my sort of colours, the flourishes,
the papers are just shabby enough, if that makes sense. So you've got this gorgeous, gorgeous, soft, dusky colour palette, which I absolutely love. Now, you've seen that I've used this kind of palette before, and I do that on purpose because you've invested in the embossing powders before. So you know that most of my previous embossing powders are going to coordinate with this paper pack.
Yes,
However,
definitely.
They will also coordinate with different brands of ink pads. Can't tell you whose they are, but you know the ones I mean. So you know straight away that you're not going to have to worry about finding things that coordinate. The colours are gorgeous, the papers and the designs are absolutely gorgeous. You've got the shading on there. There's one that you're going to come to shortly that's got, it's got like, it almost looks like you've splattered gesso all over it.
Yeah.
But it's just enough. The shabby chic style is done for you.
It is absolutely beautiful. I'm just looking through these. I've fallen in love with these straight away.
That one that you've just gone past, that's actually got really fine script on it as well, the one before that. So the blue one at the back, the grey one at the back has got tiny script on. Yeah.
Well, we're busy already, Phil, I've got to tell you. Already over 10% of the stock has gone.
Thank you, everybody.
Do you know, we've not even seen the samples yet. Let's just have a look at these.
Can I just say thank you to my design team? So I'm going to say thank you to my sister Karen, to Linda, welcome back Linda, you've done a cracking job, to Lozzie, who always does an amazing job, to Alison, who always does an amazing job, to Alison's husband David, because I know he's done some, yeah, and to myself, of course. And I'm just going to say as well, just want to mention Jennifer, so thank you Jennifer for everything you've done, hope you're okay. You don't need to know all that, I'm just saying thank you to her. And one last thing I need to say is hello to Isabel. Say hello to Isabel.
Hello, Isabel.
She's my youngest crafter fan. She is. You'd ask me how old she is, but she's little.
Is she?
And every time I come to do a show, Grandma will message me and say, please say hello to Isabel. And I always forget. So, hi, Isabel.
Oh, lovely to have you on board. You never know. You never know. Your samples might be seen here at some point. Yes, who knows?
I might get a break.
I will remember. We'll remember the name Isabel. Looking at these samples though, Phil, do you know the paper pad again, the colour palette I've mentioned already, but you've got bold stripes in there, but you know, looking at that sample there, you wouldn't look at that and think, well, that's a really bold paper. No. The clever way it's been used.
Absolutely. So when the stripes particularly, because I love stripes, as most people will know, but when you're doing the Rococo style, this very glamorous, very classy style, it needs to be a little bit softer, a little bit wishy-washy, a little bit romantic, dare I say. And hopefully that's what I've achieved with these papers. And that colour there, the mustard kind of colour, is probably my favourite. Yours is probably the pink, but I love that mustardy colour. You know when you're trying to find papers for men as well?
Yes,
the mustard and the grey together are absolutely gorgeous.
These are absolutely stunning. All of the samples from me as well. Well done, design team. Absolutely incredible
they've done a cracking job.
They really have. I mean, we've seen a combination, of course, of everything from the one-day special here. Those beautiful stamps, the beautiful papers as well. Look at this one. I mean, we've gone totally away from the colour palette there, but doesn't that work beautifully as well? I've actually included Valentine's. So the two sentiment sets, you've got the essentials one, then you've also got the occasional one, and the occasional one I've left as separate. So I don't know whether you noticed that when Catherine was showing you. So it actually enables you then to mix and match and create your own sentiments from the individual words. Of course, yes. We'll be seeing much more of the stamps, of course. And I will give you the details as I keep showing samples, because I want to try and squeeze as many in as possible, because the inspiration you're going to receive from these is just incredible. Now, as always, well, I say as usual, I should say, on a one-day special, we do have a flexi buy. It's no exception today. You've got two payments of £29.23. If you're a Freedom member, remember it's a why not deal. You will be getting everything we've mentioned there, those 70 stamps. There's 4 sets there, but 70 individual stamps. You've got the A4 paper pack, 190 GSM as well. Absolutely amazing quality. Phil would not bring anything here unless, of course, he was so happy with it, and the quality was exceptional. I can tell you, in less than 10 minutes, already 20% of the stock of the one-day special has already gone. We are really busy, but we've got more to show you, and I want to move down as quickly as possible so we can get to Phil as soon as we can. But something very important to mention. Now, if you've seen Phil's water brush pens before and you've bought them, you know you're delighted with them. But we have got all 4 sets available again today. We've had sellouts on these so many times. Now, what I can tell you is once the stock that we've currently got has gone, they will not be reordered again this year. So that tells me 2 things. If you're missing a set, grab it now. If you've already got them, regardless of how many you've got, get some more, because if yours run out, because you will be using them a lot, these will not be reordered again this year. I'm right in saying that, aren't I, Phil? Absolutely right, yeah. So just before the show, when we were talking earlier, I actually mentioned to Catherine, because last year they were so busy, as we know, so I ordered loads for this year. And it's not even the end of January, and I need to tell you that nearly half of what I've ordered for this year has already gone. Oh, well,
and
do
I'm
not
not
hesitate.
reordering again this year because I've got so many other things coming this year. So I'm not saying I won't ever reorder them maybe next year, but definitely not this year. So if you don't want to miss out, now is the time to do it.
Perfect. So you can see these individually available under the item. You've got different sets there. So set one, let's have a look at set one first of all so you can see the colours. Now I also remember from previous shows, Phil, there are no repetitions in these sets, are they?
No, absolutely not. So every one of them has got a different colour set in them. Even if some of the tips look the same, they're not actually the same colour. There is no duplication whatsoever.
Wonderful and beautiful colours as well. And remember, these are watercolour brush pens. Set two is underneath. So we can see the beautiful colours there. Yes, you might get more greens, you might get more blues, but they will not be the
I'll
same
show you actually,
blues and
Catherine.
greens.
When you come back to me, I've actually... this was a mistake, by the way, but I've got two sets, as you would expect. And I've got one set that I've put into colour order, which is what these are, and I've got another set that I've left as they are. I've brought the wrong ones, but I'll show you how they look as a group of colours when you've got all four sets.
It is a good point, actually, putting them in colour coordination, but you know you haven't got that repetition here. So set number two was the one at the bottom, just under set number one. So we're just having a look at that there. You can see those beautiful colours yet again. You've got some really gorgeous blues and greens in that one. The yellows, you can see the reds, the oranges. Now, remember, being watercolour as well, I mean, you can change the intensity that you're working with here. Set number three is what we're going to look at next. So we're back to the top shelf, I believe, here. We're going to have a look through each of the colours there. Do not miss out on these. Lots of you are going for the pens already. I'm not surprised. And then set number four is underneath. We're just looking at set number three right now. Oh, beautiful turquoises and aquas in there as well. Do you know, you're getting so much for your money here as well, and these truly are going to last. They really are. $29.99. Just looking at set number four, I'll give you the details. 127479 is the item number. You can go for set one, set two, set three, set four, whatever combination, but certainly do go for the full collection if you possibly can. And if you're going for the one-day special, you can, of course, split the cost as well. Right, on the website you will find everything. We've got so many different die sets for you as well. We've got lots of embossing powders, we've got Phil's tools, we've got cardstock. There is so much to see, but we do want to get to Phil as soon as possible. Now, something else I just have to tell you as well, when it comes to the nesting dies, and there's lots of options here. Look at the 5-star reviews as well. They will not be reordered again this year, so it's the same instance as with the pens here. So do not miss out on them. When they're gone for now. We will not be, well, I'm saying we, Phil won't be reordering them again this year. So again, fill those gaps if you can. Look at the 5-star reviews. We wouldn't expect anything less, would we? Can't wait for demonstrations. I really can't. Oh, Phil, what have you got in store for us?
Okay, right. So before I start, I'm just going to do this to show you, because it's actually a really good visual aid to show you the different colours you get. Once you've got all four sets, you can do, obviously you get the stickers in set four.
Yeah.
I don't know where mine are.
Well, we've got some stickers here, so we can, if you haven't got yours, we can grab ours.
No, I've done a set with my stickers on, so I must have three sets. Sorry.
Okay.
It's one of the advantages when you've got your own shop and you can just nip in and help yourself. But this is how they look when you've got all four sets. I'm just going to put them together and put them on the side, look, so you can see from above. This shows you the different colour palette. Oops. Oh, he says, can you get that like that? That's not bad. So it shows you that you've got quite a few blues, you've got some gorgeous shades in there, and it actually gives you every colour that you could possibly probably need. Remember as well, because these are watercolour blending brush pens, you can change all of these just by blending them with another colour. You can actually dilute them themselves, so the dark blue that's in there, you can actually do like a pale sky blue as well. Oh, so it is worth, and I know it's easy for me to say this, but it is worth having all four sets, and you'll see that as you watch me demonstrate throughout tonight and tomorrow, you'll see that I use lots of different colours. So let's get started.
Okay. Oh, now I can tell you when it comes to the one-day special, Phil, already almost a quarter of the stock has gone. It is very, very busy. Not even got to demo yet, but we're going to get there. Very busy. Check those baskets out. Do not hesitate. We don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the stock. Okay,
so,
Phil.
Let me just put these in some sort of order to show you, because it's not easy to get inside my brain. But I'm going to try and explain to you how the reason I designed this and why I wanted this particular collection. Just bring that down a little bit. So the essential sentiments, you have 11 sentiments that are already put together for you. So you've got the essentials, the happy birthday. Me being me, card making is primarily my thing. So this was kind of geared towards the card makers out there, same as myself. So you've got some bigger sentiments in there, but you've also got some of the smaller ones. So you know, like when you've got tags and little die cut things, and you've got sentiments straight away for that. Then on the occasional set, you've got happy on your, on our, your, to, you, both, new, blah, blah, blah. So what that means is now you can do, I have a lady who phones me, well, she phones the shop in Sheffield all the time saying, you haven't done, in all the years I've done sentiment stamps, you haven't done on our anniversary. And I haven't, it's right. I actually looked back and checked and I'm like, why not? Because my brain works for us sending cards rather than sending them,
to our,
So you if you're watching, you can now do that. You can do on our anniversary, on your retirement, on our engagement, on our wedding day.
I hope that lady's watching.
Well, I hope you are watching. Email in if you are. So you've got loads and loads of different sentiments there. Then we come to the corners and the flourishes. They're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to use the Flourishes set on the first demo. Oh, I might not. No, I'm not. I'm going to change my mind and use the other one. So in here, look, you've got, just to try and explain this to you, I know this is the set I've been using, but you've got two different styles within this one set of stamps. You've got this gorgeous, gorgeous, almost pencil drawn one there. And then you've got this kind of Rococo, very elegant, swirly one here. So you've got corners for that, you've got corners there, you've got smaller corners there, you've got all these frame embellishments here, these frame elements. And the reason I've put these extras in, because I could have changed that and not bothered to put them in. But what that means is if you're doing a rectangle card, you can now extend this part and make it fit into a rectangle.
Nice.
If you're doing an octagon-shaped card, for example, if you're using my double debossed octagon dies, these will fit exactly in the fourth die from the largest. So you can go all the way around and create a gorgeous pattern with them.
Wonderful.
You're going to have so much fun with these stamps. There must be 50, 60 samples here.
We have got so many.
I can't even get them all on the set.
So many, and each and every one is so beautiful as well.
I couldn't get them all on the set.
We've got piles and piles.
And do you know what? Do you know if I'd have had a week more, we'd have probably done another 50.
Really?
Because the possibilities are just endless. So coming to this one quickly before I start. So this is the Flourishes. So you've got the left facing, right facing, You've got the left facing, right facing, left facing, right facing. You've got the small elements. And if I get time after I've done the actual proper demo, because you know I'm only going to get one done, if I've got time at the end of this, I'm going to show you what I mean by those scraps of card.
Okay, yeah.
But then these here, look, these two corners here, if you've got a little scrap from your matting and layering when you die cutting and everything, you can now stamp your with love in the middle. I'll try and do it at the end. Your with love in the middle, and you can do the two outer edges with this, and you've created the most beautiful little topper.
Oh, I can see that.
And you can't buy things like that, Catherine.
You can't.
That was the idea behind this set. Does that make sense?
It does make sense,
I'm
and I'm loving those
very
two.
Excited.
I know, I can tell. I'm loving the two styles in there as well, because I can see the finer one looks great just to stamp and emboss. The other one, you can add that colour with the watercolours as well.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. We've seen that in the samples so far as well. Something else I've just got to let you know that's been very, very busy so far are the inverted squares. These are in the inverted corner squares. It will make more sense if I just show you the actual dies. Remember, with the dies as well, when the stock has gone, it will not be reordered this year. You will get the magnetic sheet as well. Look how many dies you're getting here. And these are true to size, aren't they? They step down perfectly, don't they, Phil?
And they're also designed to coordinate with the regular double debossed squares and the rounded corner double debossed squares as well. So all the squares are the same size, so it means you can mix and match the different corners and the different edges. Wonderful.
13 dies in that one set there. Do not miss out on any of those, but particularly on the square that's very busy. £35.99, 387 457. Right, back to Mr. Phil.
Okay, so we're going to do a different version of this card. This is one that you can tell, can't you? This is one that I've made. And one of the things that I was conscious of when I was doing my samples is I'm like, do you know what? I love that because I've done it in lilac and well, I've done it in lavender and the olive green cardstock. But then I thought, you know what? That'd look gorgeous if you did it in brighter colours as well. So this is what I'm going to demo for you. I've changed the shape of the die. Yeah. So this is the double deboss labels. So we're going to do a different colourway, but that is the inspiration behind it. So luckily, everybody breathes a sigh of relief. I've done some matting and layering there. If you want to know the colours I've used, because the cardstock is on the website, this is the Totally Turquoise and the Zingy Chartreuse, which is like a lime colour. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Well, we've got the details on the screen for those pick and mixes for you. We have got those beautiful premium cardstocks available. Lots of colours to choose from. You're getting 3 packs. There's 20 sheets in each. And I know, watching through, you know, we see Julia here, of course, even when she's not working for Phill, always uses Phil's cardstock as well. And so many do, a lot of other people as well. Oh, I'm just hearing a little bit. That price, do ignore it for a second. It's going to get better. $16.49 it should be, so we're going to bring that down. We're going to change the details for you. The item number should be the same, but the price is going to be lowered. We will bring that back to you, but you should find that okay on the website. Right, Phill.
Right, okay, so I'm going to use the same stamps as I've used on here just to show you the idea behind how they work.
Lovely stuff.
So I don't know whether you know this, but obviously I know this from designing, but when you're doing... Oops, I've kicked the bucket there, literally.
Oh, don't do that live on air, Phill, whatever you do.
So when I design the corners, I've made sure that you've got the left facing and right facing, so you only actually need 2 because they will do opposite corners, and that's what we're going to do first. So let's get those on first. You can see there's no space literally left in those... and those sets of stamps. I couldn't get any more embellishments in if I tried. So I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black because I'm going to watercolour this with the pens afterwards. Okay. I'm hoping I can get this one done because it's absolutely gorgeous.
The pens are busy as well. Remember, when stock has gone, they will not be reordered again this year, so you want to make sure that you're not missing out. If you've got any missing, or if you want to, you know, just double up on what you've got to make sure you've got those to last, you can do. Okay, so top left, bottom right, and then I need to change the stamp so that it matches. It actually looks good just with 2. So if I'm not going to do it, but in fact I will, I'll make it a little bit different to the card that I've already done because I want you to see how... We are very busy on the one-day special, everybody. Over a quarter of the stock has already gone. I'm just going to quickly look at the clock. We're only just short of 23 minutes in, and over a quarter has gone. Phill, I just noticed as well there, when you were stamping with that corner stamp, you have sort of overlapped the edge a little bit. You've not gone right into the cardstock.
No, I've gone over the edge because it looks like it's an extension then of the design when you put it all together. I quite like stamping off the edge, where you can see that little bit that I've gone off the edge there. But it's already, look, just from 2 little stamps, it's transformed that piece of card. So let's just do the other 2 corners, and I'm going to show you how you can extend this corner with the extra embellishments that are in there. So on the original card, which I'll show you again in a second, let me just do this before I carry on. Aren't they classy?
They are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, very sophisticated. Class
in a glass. So let's just get that done. Yeah, so one of the things I was conscious of, because I've done this myself years and years ago when I first started doing this, I remember buying some frame stamps. And I remember having used them for like 3 or 4 weeks. You know what it's like when you get something new, you use it constantly. And then I remember having used it for like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, well, I'm bored with that. Yeah. I can't do anything else with that because the frame was already done for me. Yeah. So I was conscious not to do that for you. I want you to be able to have lots of scope because I do massive cards.
But that's why we love you, Phill, because...
You won't be posting these cards, I can tell you. Look at it.
I think everybody's going to be so delighted with what they're making with these stamps. And, of course, the die's available as well, that you're not going to want to give them away.
I know.
I would stand that on my sideboard and leave it out there. I really would.
Just because it's pretty.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You're quite right. OK, so here, look, we've got the extra embellishments that perfectly match these corners. So I can either now take this one and make it and extend it, or I can take the smaller one, which is what I'm going to do.
Lovely stuff.
And I'm going to try and do all the stamping, and then I'll let you do a recap, and then you can come back to me before I start colouring in, because I want to show you how fab it looks. So I would normally change this and do opposites, but I'm just going to do this just to be quick. So I'm now going to extend this corner. Oh no, I'm going to have to do it, sorry, because it won't match. and it'll just bug me.
This is Mr.
Like.
Perfection, you see.
I know. I did think I could get away with it, but,
but
the wrong
look
way
at that.
around.
We can see straight away, Phil, how that is going to work. How you are extending that.
And it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
So easy to do. Okay, let's get the other one.
Do you know, I'm with you as well on stamping off the page there, Phil, because, do you know, I think a lot of people would, if they bought a set of stamps like this and saw the frames, saw the corners, they would straight away think, right, I need to go so far from the edge, maybe give a centimetre, then I've got to match it up in the other corner, then the third corner, then the fourth, and you're never going to get it that accurate, even with your grids and things.
Make it easy on yourself, stamp off the edge, and then if you make a mistake, it's absolutely fine. I'll leave it at that. So instead of going, obviously I could go again and make the corner even bigger, but let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Because otherwise you'll be watching me stamping the same things for 20 minutes, and we don't want that. So I'm going to let that dry, and we're going to come to the little topper. So I love this, love doing this. So I'm going to do my sentiment first, and oops, oh no. Have ink on me. So I'm going to use my stamping platform for this, just so that I can position it properly.
Okay.
This is the Elegant Labels that I'm using here, the double debossed Elegant Labels, and this is the one that I've got the least stock of.
Oh, so you need to grab this one quick then. We do have them available at the moment, but will they last? $35.99, 117, 395. You've got 10 dies in that set, and again you're getting that magnetic sheet as well, which of course keeps everything nice and neat and safe.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this: if you're going for the one-day special and you haven't got these label dies and you can afford it, please treat yourself, because when you see me do this, look, so all of these will fit on there, but more importantly, you can actually go horizontally as well.
Can't you?
So every one of these will fit, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. We're going to do vertical, so let's have. Oh, too many choices.
They don't just fit, Phil, though. They leave the right amount of white space around them. That's the other thing. It's not just about fitting into a shape, it's leaving the appropriate amount around.
You'll notice when we come to put this card together, I've actually done a layer underneath and I'm leaving it plain white. So I'll show you on the original look. So on the when I was doing this, I usually message my sister when I'm at various stages, and I'll go coloured, plain, embossed, plain. And I actually did an embossed piece that I splattered ink all over to go underneath originally, but that white space just absolutely makes that beautiful sentiment pop.
It does, doesn't it?
And we're going to do the same thing again. So let's just stamp this and try and cover up that little bit of ink. So let's get. I don't think it'll work, but we can but try. We can but try. Okay. So obviously I'm using VersaFine, so it means if you want to emboss this with clear embossing powder, you can do that. But I'm just going to leave it as plain ink for now. So the reason I've put my word in first, my sentiment in first, I mean, look at that.
Oh, fair.
Is that not just the classiest thing?
Oh, it is.
It's beautiful. Even if I say so myself. So I know people collect my sentiments as well, so I can tell you hand on heart that this is a brand new doodly font. I've never used it, it's a new one. Just
I can't believe how clear it is. It's such a beautiful font.
It's very elegant.
So readable it is. Yeah.
Very elegant.
Love it.
Oh, my earpiece just fell out. So remember, you could emboss on top of that. We're now going to go back to the Flourishers, and we're going to do the big one. And I am going to do left and right. So let me just put one on a block and the other one on a block. And I'm doing this by hand on purpose because I've actually already done the die cutting. Yeah. So if you were doing this at home, you could absolutely use your scrap pieces of card, again from your matting and layering. I'm just going to show you because I've saved some of mine, look. So these are my scraps from my matting and layering, look. And you can see that most of them are big enough to actually stamp your word in and die cut around. Yep. So just save them and do that yourself, and then you can die cut afterwards. But we're going to do it and just stamp over the debossed. The debossed is really good on this. So we're now taking that actually looks really pretty before I do anything with it. It would even look pretty just with a little bit of ink around the edge or a bit of glitter around the edge, but we're going to change the whole look of this. And we're going to add this beautiful squirrely font. Where shall we go? Where shall we go?
There's too many
choices. I'm trying to get as much of the swirling as I can. That's the only reason I'm twisting it around. There we go. So remember, you do need to go for the other one.
Oh, lovely. Love it.
Look, see what a difference it makes. Wait till it's coloured in, because that really makes a massive difference.
Do you know what?
I love monochrome anyway.
Yes, I know. And the more I look at these stamps as well with the flourishes and the way you can build those frames up, do you know, it doesn't matter what is going to be on your card. It could be just a sentiment. It could be toadstools and fairies. Yeah. You know, you could build a frame and a glade there. It could be Christmas would work as well. You could add little berries and things like that as well, if you wanted to, onto the flourishes. Definitely for all seasons, all occasions, male, female, of any age.
Well, we've got Father's Day we've got Fathers, Mothers and Day and Happy included on the occasional set.
Oh, nice.
So, so you can actually do, well, there is a Father's Day. Oh, it's right in front of you, Catherine.
Father's Day. Oh, there is. So there is. Yeah, well, Mother's Day is first in March, obviously, and then Father's Day, I presume, is June, isn't it? So not the way time's going, it won't be long before it's here. Loving, again, the stripe, the bold stripe that's been used from the paper pad there as well. Yeah. Wow, 30% of the stock has gone on the one-day special already. We do have queues on the phone lines as well. That's those labels again there as well, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah,
Details at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, works every single time, doesn't it? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. If you can use the web or the app, please do.
Yeah, Karen's made that, and if you look at the outer edges, she's done it landscape, and she's just done a hint of the scrolly flourish at the edges of the label.
She has.
And it's just enough for a masculine card, yeah. Isn't it gorgeous? Very, very elegant.
That's one of your little scraps as well, isn't it, where you can make use of your little scraps in a stamp.
Yeah. Wait, I'm going to be using them loads tomorrow. So I'm going to let you do a recap. I'm just going to show everybody where I'm at. It'll just give my VersaFine time to dry. So this is before I've coloured it in. And already it looks gorgeous.
Does, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just going to let you bring everybody up to date while I get my pens
well,
ready.
we'll do that because we are so busy. Now, don't forget, this is a why not deal. So if you're wanting to purchase this deal and you're not a Freedom member, you can join for £5.97. You are saving, look at this, £14.49 as a Freedom member. So do the maths. You've still got extra savings and you've got the benefit of being a member for at least a month. You can opt in and out, remember. Now, when it comes to the one-day special itself, you've got 70 individual stamps. There are 4 individual sets there. Those beautiful flourishes, you've got 2 different versions. You've got the very fine, beautiful, pretty flourishes. And then, of course, you've got almost a double flourish there, which gives you those areas. If you want to add colour, you can. You can, of course, just print. You can emboss. You can do whatever you wish with them. Teaming these with anything else that you've already got from Phill. You know, it could be other papers. It could be other dyes. Of course, the dyes we've got on the show work perfectly, don't they? That colour palette in the papers there, 190 GSM is what you're looking at there. You've got 4 different designs, 5 different colours. There are 40 sheets in total. They're single-sided as well, which I really like sometimes because then you're not having to think, oh, which side do I go with? You know, you just choose and you work with it. You can overstamp, you can spray, you can emboss onto those as well. But I'm with Phill on this. Do you know, mustard is one of those colours that in the past it's not really appealed to me that much, but now I absolutely love it, and I can so see how beautifully the mustard in particular works in that set. That deep dusky pink in there. They're not too wishy-washy, are they, Phill? They're beautiful. No. And I think Phil's absolutely right. These fall right in between, you know, that shabby and that chic, that grunge and that pretty. Perfectly falls in the middle, so I think there's something to suit absolutely everybody. Now, we've got so many samples here. There's some beauties on the front of the counter. I think they'll be changed up throughout the show so you can see something different as well. And because the design team works so hard and we've got so many to get through, I'm just going to throw in as many as I can, as often as I can. I like to do this when I'm giving the numbers. I try to show the samples at the same time, but we can't miss those on the front of the screen there. Now, don't forget, we've got Flexi Buy as well. A third of the one-day special has already gone. You can split the cost down. If you are going for the pens as well, or if you're wanting to throw any of those dies in while we've got the stocks, you can split the cost also. Don't forget about that. If you're not going for the one-day special and just going for the pens, you're going for all 4 sets. You'll have enough, of course, to split the costs anyway, because you'll be be, you know, adding into your basket more than £60. Now, it doesn't matter whether the papers have been used or not in these samples. It just shows you the versatility of the stamps. But the papers, again, you know, even if you're not using the stamps and you're using the papers, you can do that as well. Look at the flowers you've got. I know we've got flowers on the website as well. We've got them on the show. I'm sure Phil's going to bring those in at some point. But look at the beautiful frames here, building up in so many different ways. Do you know, I'm adoring all of those labels that I'm seeing on these cards as well, using those different stamps in the same way as Phill is just doing now, but changing it up to a different design. This is a completely different design to the one Phill has just stamped with as well. This is a pretty one. Look at this. Oh, wow. Completely different colour again there. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, this is nice as well. Oh, I think we've lost Phill. I think we've lost him. We will be back to him in a second, but I do want to show you as much as possible. We are very, very busy. Loving these sort of muted... Oh, I found another one. I'm so sorry. One of Linda's. Look at that. I love that colour combination. Beautiful. Phill, you said about the hexagon and how beautifully the stamps work with the hexagons, and this is one sample that proves that.
Yeah, there is one somewhere that I've done that's got, I don't know where it is because there's piles of them, where I've actually done just simple stamping on around the edge of the octagon.
I'll see if I can have a rummage while we're on you, and see if I can find it here. It might be at the back, but we'll have a look, see if we can find it. It's a hexagon, you said, didn't you?
Octagon.
An octagon. We'll have a look for it. I don't know if our lovely director's just found it. What colours is it, Phill? Can you remember?
It's black and white with... And the colouring in on the stamp
I'm going to look for it here, see if I can find it while we watch you.
It'll be in there somewhere.
Because you've got the watercolours there, haven't you? You're working with the watercolours now.
I'm just doing my base coat while you do that, because you don't want to watch me for 20 minutes doing this.
Well, we'll remind you those pens because Phill is using them. Let me just give you those details again for the one-day special, 224373. £8 saving you if you're not a Freedom member. Just to remind you again, $14.49 as a Freedom member. It is a why not deal. Let's show you that flexi basket as well, or the payments that you're going to pay if we split it down. 2 payments of £29.23, so you can spread the cost. Do you know, if you can do that and you can afford to throw the pens in or some of the dies as well, you will not regret it, will you? Let me just tell you, over a third of the stock of the one-day special has already gone. We're not even through the first hour. Of course, Phil's back again tonight at 8 o'clock. There are sales in between shows as well. You've got to remember that. It doesn't stop dead at the end of the hour. We still take those sales in between the shows. And we're busy in Europe and America as well, so I'd like to say a very good evening here in the UK from us to you too. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's have a reminder of those pens before we get back to Phill. I know Phill wants to get his base coat down. We are busy on each of the sets. Remember, you've got 4 different sets here. No repetition whatsoever in any of those colours. Yes, you'll get more blues. Yes, you'll get more greens, the reds, the pinks, the oranges. In between those sets, they will vary, but no repetition. Now, let's have a look at the details for these. So, set number 1, that's the one we've got here. Details on the screen right now for you. So, 24 brush pens. Look at the nibs on these when we come in close as well. Superb quality. You're also getting the 2 water brushes in there as well. It just opens up more options. 334739 is the item number, and you've got those different nibs on those water brushes as well. Now, the set number 2 is at the bottom there, so we'll have a look at the colours here as well for you. Item number 845273, $29.99 again there. Again, you're getting the 2 water brushes. So think about it. If you're going for all sets, not only are you getting, well, that would be 24, 25 is 48, that would 96 pens, and you'd get 8 water brushes. I've just done that right, haven't I? Yes. Did I do that right? I did. My brain's working. Yes. Love it when my brain works as a calculator. Nobody has to tell me. You've got to keep sharp. Then let's have a look at set number 3. Set number 3 coming up next. You can see, oh, we've got some nice greys in there as well. Very, very important to have the greys, of course. We hear that all the time. Set number 3, item number 170420. Again, $29.99. Those 2 water brushes included. And set number 4, we'll have a little look at that one as well. Those beautiful colours once again. Just a reminder, if you missed at the beginning of the show, if you just joined us, when the current stock has gone, there will be no reordering this year. Not at all in between now and the end of 2021. So you need to grab yours now. Even if you've got some of these and you're loving them, double up on your sets to make sure you've got plenty. Right, we're going to go over to the website because we've got lots more there. Don't forget, the same thing applies with this, well, many of the dies we've got on the show, because of course the stock will not be reordered this year. We've also got the pick and mix of the cardstock there. Any 3, and you've got packs of 20 sheets there. There's some beautiful colours, so 60 sheets in total. Look, you've got beautiful colours. You've got the wonderful sort of soft muted colours there. You've got your brights, you've got your earthy colours, you've got your sky, your blues, your greens, a whole array. Look at that fabulous fuchsia. Oh, loving that one. Then you've got those mustards and yellows in there as well, so something to work with all of those watercolour pens actually. So if you're going for the pens, think about the cardstock you're going to use as well when you're colouring in with those pens. Wonderful stuff there. Right, so much to choose from, isn't there? Very, very busy on the one-day special, very busy. Phil, how are you getting on?
Right, so you're back to me.
Hey!
So all I've done while Catherine was just keeping you all updated is once you've got all your pens home, you'll be able to do what I've done and put them in, well, you can put them in whichever works for you. You can put all your blues together and what have you, which is what I've done. But then you can see using, oops, where are you? Then you can see using the tips, you get a rough idea. So I already know, look, that these 2 pens will work perfectly with these two
nice.
colours of cardstock. Remember, it's totally turquoise and zingy chartreuse. It's one of my favourite combinations at the minute. So what I've done is I've just laid a base coat of the chartreuse colour with my water brush. Now I've used, you do get water brushes included with all 4 different sets of the watercolour blending brush pens. Isn't it a mouthful? I'm going to have to start naming things with short names.
Give them abbreviations.
However, if you can treat yourself, because tomorrow you're going to see me using these, you've got, I hope these are on the show now, I've told everybody, you've got the flat brush ones, we've got a set of extra ones, and these are different to the ones in the pen sets. So you do get a couple of little flat ones, yeah, in the pen sets, but you don't get this size, and this I know is worth its weight in gold for doing backgrounds and things. So if anybody, well, I'm going to tell you to do it, just go and have a look at how much a flat tip water brush costs, because I know that my small one cost me 15 quid when I bought it originally, and that was just for one. Anyway, I'm just going to put that out of the way. So I'm using my longer brushes. They're obviously a bit longer as well, so they hold more water.
Okay, wonderful.
So I've done my base coat with the chartreuse colour, and I'm now just going to do some little highlights, and I'm going direct with the pen. I've not coloured particularly well, but you know what? It works.
It looks
still.
wonderful to me.
It still works. So I'm now just going to use the fine tip of these, and this is what makes them fab, and I'm just doing little hints, look, of the turquoise colour. You don't need to be a colourer. I'm going to water this as well, and wait till you see when I add a little bit of water to it. You don't actually need to if you look. It looks pretty just as it is, just adding the 2-tone. And then I'll show you how it looks when you put it on the card. You can see that sort of green hue coming through, can't you, Phil, there as well? That blend is beautiful. Yeah. And do you know what I love? I love being able to match, you know me, in coordination. I love being able to match everything. So once you've got all the pens, you know you're going to be able to, find a colour. It's a good job I'm not worried about going out the lines, isn't it? Look at that. Shocking. Somebody needs to teach me how to use these pens. So I'm just adding a little bit of colour because I want you to see how this looks when you go back in and mottle some water on it. So just you might as well get as many ideas as you can from me while I'm here. So because I'm not back now until the end of February. Oh. I know, it feels like ages since I saw you all, and it's going to be ages again before you see me. So I'm just following
it'll be here before we know it.
Well, the end of February is a very special event.
Is it really?
It is indeed, but I'm not telling you anymore just yet.
Oh.
Not just yet.
I might be able to guess,
a bit of green on there, but hey-ho. So I actually kind of like, on one of the samples that I've done, I've purposefully gone out the lines anyway, and it looks like, you know, like when shabby chic is distressed and purposefully shabby, it actually looks like that. So I'm just colouring in. I'm sorry, I know it's the most boring thing, but it'll be worth it.
Well, I don't think it's boring at all, because you're showing us techniques, you're showing us how the pens are, you know, so easy to use as well. We can see that beautiful nib on there as well, that beautiful flex you're getting from the brush nib. And you can see how fine you can colour with them as well, Phil.
You want to say that again, sorry? You
can see how finely you can colour with them with that nib.
It's a very fine nib. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it mottled. So, top tip for you, when you're doing two-tone, which is what I'm doing here, do your light tone first, which is why I did the base coat of the chartreuse colour, because it's the softest. We're also going to flick some colour as well, which most people wouldn't think you can do this with. You would think that you'd need paint or something to do the flicking, but you can actually do it with your water brush and these pens. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So all I'm doing is just adding that little bit of turquoise colour, and then we're going to bleed it out a little bit with some water. And luckily, I can't remember which set of pens it is, but you've got a super, super fine water brush in one of the sets. I think it's set 1. Yeah.
Yeah, set 1 has the fine tip in there and a flat tip.
Okay, so I will find this is my fine one. So I'm now not adding any more colour. I'm literally, let me come back to the sentiment. And I just want water, make sure there's no colour on that. You notice I've changed to my blending mat so you can see the colours.
Oh, that's a good tip.
So now I just want water. You can see how much colour I've got on there. And we're just going to stipple that. So I'm not actually brushing over it, I'm just stippling it. I promise you, please be patient when you're doing this, because you look and you think, well, it's not actually done anything, but it does. As soon as the water starts, and I'm not using watercolour card, this is just my pure white card. So can you see already where, as it's drying in at the tip there, ignoring the bit where I've gone out the lines, it's blending the two colours together and it's giving you a lovely mottled
it's got
look.
That lovely softness to it where it's blended.
It's lovely, and then when you put it next to the card, which I'm going to do in a second, when you put it next to the card, it actually makes the two colours of the cardstock blend with everything. And I'll just put one of these flowers in while you're watching me do that, because the flowers were done in exactly the same way. You may as well look at something pretty while I'm just doing this.
Oh, so did you stipple those as well then? Just added the colour then stippled?
So I did, yeah. So I did these exactly the same as I've done here with the base coat of the lightest colour, and then I just did some scribbles. You can actually see, look, if you look properly, I've done some scribbles with the turquoise, and then I got loads of water on my mat and just stippled it with and I use the flat brushes for that, because you get more water, you get a quicker coverage, and then I've just flaked loads of gesso all over them.
I love the effect of those.
I said on my face, actually, I can't remember which card I did on Facebook last week, but if you find me on Facebook, Sentimentally Yours on Facebook, you'll see the video I did last week where we did that. When I say we, it was me. So do you want to do anything just while I carry on doing?
The details on the screen for set 1 of those pens, actually, they're just here. In fact, I've got something else to show you as well if I'm going back to the pens. I'm just going to head over there so you can see these properly. Set 1 in particular, very, very busy indeed. Do grab these while you can. Don't forget the stock goes. We're not going to see this come back during 2021. They will not be reordered. Phil, never say never, Phil says, but definitely not during this year. So grab these while you can. Set 1 is there with the fine nibs. Set 2 underneath. No repetition, remember, those colours there. So you can see you've got 2 water brushes in here as well. We're just going to change the details because it's different item numbers for the sets here. So set 2 is the one that's on the screen now. So you've got the 2 water brushes in there as well. The fine one was in set number 1, remember. So 845273 is for set 2. Set 3 is coming up for you. Keep an eye always at the bottom of the screen for the different item numbers as well, because we'll always share things at the bottom there as well. In fact, set number 1 is still at the bottom there. All of these are now very, very busy. I'm not surprised if you can afford to go for each and every one, do so. If you're not going for anything else and you are going for all 4 sets, you can still open up that flexi because you're spending over £60. Item number 170420 is for set 3, and then for set 4, we've got different details again. And I've got to tell you, this is where the stickers come in as well, and I have grabbed ours so you can see them. I know Phil has picked up the set that he didn't mean to pick up to show you first of all, but what Phil has done, he's colour coordinated or colour coded right through his sets. If you've got all 4, take those colours out and put all your blues together or your greens together. What happens here with the stickers is you can see those individual colours and mark them onto your boxes as well. So it's up to you. You can keep them exactly as they arrive, or you can coordinate them in those boxes yourself. Very, very busy on the pens as well. Remember, different item numbers for different sets, so make sure you choose wisely. Don't replicate. Go for one of each if you can. Wonderful stuff there. Everything on the website, of course, as well. Now, also, we've got some tweezers for you as well. Now, the tools, you might have spotted these, always busy. We do have the tweezers in stock again for you. So we've got 3 different styles of tweezers. I know Phil has chosen these, had these made specifically for different jobs as well. So you've got your straight pointed, you've got your curved pointed, and you've got your flat nose rounded as well. I'm just going to take the end of this one. So these are your flat nose rounded as well. Do you know there's a pair of tweezers for every tool? I'm sure you'll see Phil using these throughout, but even for picking up your gems as well. And of course, for picking up all those bits and pieces, your die cuts, where you're stamping, if you've got colours on there and you want to dry them. 618 616 is the item number, only $14.99. The quality of those, again, exceptional. Then we do have some more tools for you as well. Let's have a look at this next bundle. So you've got the Pokey tools and the pickup tools. Now the pickup tools are really interesting actually. So if you've got those gems, you've got kind of that sticky end there. So all you do is touch that onto your gems and it will pick them up for you. Very, very useful indeed. But you've got various different ends here on those tools. So a fine embossing ball there. You've got the Pokey tool here with the point on there. I love that as well because look, it goes from very fine to a thicker Pokey tool. So you can go with your larger holes in there as well, use it as a bradawl. Do you know, just a wonderful selection again. There you've got that pointer tool again. That's very sharp, that one, so remember about keeping the caps on as well. So different tools there for you, $11.99. Great duos, 974186 is the item number. We're still busy on those phone lines as well, so do, if you can, go to the website or the app. We will get to you, but you want to be checking those baskets out because we're busy across the board. Right, okay.
I've got 4
How are you getting on?
I just heard that, so I'm panicking slightly. Right, so let's just do some flicking. So this is the difference it makes when you start adding a little bit of colour. Yeah, so you saw how it looks before the colour, and look at the difference it makes now once you add a little bit of colour. Yeah, and remember, once you've got your pens and your stamps home, you're going to be able to change everything to coordinate just based on the colours. So we're going to do some little splatting. So I'm using the water brush, yeah, and I'm just going to do the chartreuse first because it's the lightest colour. And look how easy that is. And I love this because it's so... my producer just asked me which I don't know because I've put all mine together. It's just asked me which set this colour comes in now. But you'll see it's like a limey looking green.
Well, we have a limey green in set number 1. If I point that out.
Could be, can't remember.
Although we have a limey colour in set number 2 as well. But they
get
are
them all,
different.
and then you know you've got
they are different. There isn't a limey one in set number 3 though, so that narrows it down a little bit. I wouldn't say it's in set number 4 either. I think the greens are more leafy or bright greens. I think it's got to be set 1 or 2 there. I'm going for set 2 actually, is it?
Can't help you. I'll put all mine in order.
Just get them all.
That's why I saved myself a set.
Get them all. You know you've got it then.
That's why I saved myself a set that had that hadn't been reorganised. Right, so let's just pop this together. So I'm trying to get this card finished. So do you see what I mean about having that lovely white space? So I would normally glitter that. In fact, I might do it after the hour.
Phil, I'm with you with those dies as well. The double deboss dies, those labels, work beautifully, don't they? The first sample that Phil's got is done with ovals, but this one here, been very busy on those. Remember, again, when the stock has gone, it will not be reordered again this year. Not this show, not this one-day special, this year. About half the stock has gone on these as well. They've been very, very busy. 10 dies in total, and you do get the magnetic sheet. I know we've been busy on the squares as well. Any of the dies, those nested dies, do look at grabbing them while you can because they will not be back this year.
So I've just rolled my kitchen roll over that. I wouldn't normally do that. How many? Minute and a half? Oh no! Right, I don't normally ever do this, but I'm just doing it for quickness because I want to try and get these flowers on before.
Phil, I swear I'm not distracting you. Keep going. If you can just glance over through our shield and tell me, give me a nod or a shake of the head if this is the card we were talking about earlier.
Look at that. Sorry, I'm not. Were you talking to me?
Yes.
Was you?
Is that the card we were talking about?
Yes, it is. Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. You can carry on.
I'm on flower duty now.
Now we're not coming away from Phil. We want to see this finish, but. One day special, almost 40% of the stock has gone in the first hour. There is another hour. I've got to remind you again, we see so many sales in between the shows as well. So even if we come off saying 40%, it could have changed by the time we get to 8 o'clock. We're staying with Phil though, we're seeing the final hurdle of this card.
You do know I don't just put 3 flowers on a card, don't you?
Oh,
look at that though already.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
And I'm just going to have I got time to bring the other one in quick? 20 seconds.
Oh. Well, I'm getting your card sample ready as well, so as I'm counting it, we can see
I'll put
that.
the little flowers on after, but look how different they look.
Oh, stunning.
That shows you how good these stamps are when you can do something like
beautiful. Go for the one-day special, 224373. This is that card. Look, the octagon with those stamps works beautifully. One of Phil's. That's all I'm going to say.